Okay, so I make my dressing with Jiffy Cornbread mix. Yes, I know a lot of people have an issue with this. However, I'm all about finding easy ways to shorten my time in the kitchen, and it tastes amazing. So if you haven't tried it this way, definitely give it a shot before you knock it. So in order to make the Jiffy Cornbread mix, you need some butter, you'll need eggs, and you'll need milk. The measurements for that is on the back of the box, so I don't need to go into that. But you're going to go ahead, mix all that together, make your cornbread, and as that's cooking, you can do this next part of chopping up the different peppers that you want. You don't have to use the same peppers that I use. You can just use bell pepper. However, I like to have various peppers in there. So I'm going to chop those up, and I'm also going to chop up some onion. We'll put all that together in a pan with some butter so we can saute it. So here's our cornbread out of the oven, and it's nice and golden and brown. So I'm going to cut it into squares and then put it in a bowl. I'm just cutting it into squares because it's a little easier to manage. And then I'll be mixing it with some cream of mushroom, cream of onion, some chicken broth, celery seed, just a tad, not too much, and some cream of chicken. And then I'll also be adding our sauteed peppers and onions to it. So here we go. So my cornbread is all cut into squares where it's more manageable, ready to go into the mixing bowl. And yes, that little corner missing is because I had to get a piece of that hot cornbread with some butter on top. So good. All right, so like I said, I put everything in the bowl. I cut up the cornbread into squares, put it in there with the sauteed peppers and onions. I also added chicken broth and all of our Campbell's, so the cream of chicken, the can of cream of onion, and the can of cream of mushroom. And I also added some celery seed seasoning, like I said before, and I also added some black pepper as well. So this is the consistency of it. It's pretty thick. If you want, you can add more chicken broth to loosen it up a little bit because it is going to go back in the oven for a little while. But you don't have to. I mean, it is dressing, so typically people have that with gravy, so you might not need it too thin. It's supposed to be a thick consistency. So I'm going to pour it all back into the same pan that I had the cornbread in, and then I'm going to put it back in the oven. So I'll take a picture of it on its way into the oven, and then I'll take a picture of it when it comes out. Here's the dressing all ready to go into the oven. I decided for the amount of dressing that I had, and the pan is pretty deep, that I wanted to put it in the oven for about an hour, hour and a half. I chose to do it for that long because I like mine to have a nice crisp consistency on the top, and definitely in the corners. As you can see here, it came out really, really well. I was super happy with the end result. Again, the time is up to you and how you would like it to be in terms of consistency. By the time you put it back in the pan, everything in your dressing has already been cooked. So it's not like we're trying to make sure that, you know, the eggs are fully cooked and things of that nature. It really is about what texture you want your dressing to be. So I decided to pair my dressing with some chicken and gravy. Not a huge fan of turkey. However, you can do turkey and gravy or whatever type of meat and gravy that you want. It's really, really good with a paired gravy. And then I also wanted some green on my plate, so decided to pair it with some sauteed green beans. And it was just a really, really great meal.